Hey everybody, welcome to Camper's Choice. My name's Ron. Today I want to talk about generators and winter planning and what happens if your lights or power goes out. This is January 30th, 2026, and I'm in Central Texas, and we just went through a bit of a cold snap. Temperatures down to 18 degrees. And wind chills, I don't know what they were, but it was cold. So I've decided that instead of relying on the grid, which kind of went out, excuse me, in 2021, and I've had various power outages. I'm not getting any younger, and I don't want to be trapped, or like a lot of you, in a situation where you're just worried whether or not the grid's gonna stay up or not. So I decided to get a generator, and the first thing I did was go out and get some estimates on what it would cost to, first for the electrical work, to get the 240 adapter put in, the inlet box and interlock switch, which shuts off your main power. And then so that you can run the generator and you're not doing any backfeeding on anybody working on the power lines that could kill them. So I got 3 estimates, and I'm glad I did. I recommend anybody else to get estimates, at least 3 estimates, and it really cut it in half. What I because he's going to do it right on the pole. He's not going to have to run a lot of lines. I don't know what the others are going to do, but I took pictures, sent them in, and this one guy came out, and so I'm glad I did the 3 estimates. Going with the 240. Some people just want generator. He's putting in a 50 amp plug. If he ran a 120, my guy said it wasn't, the guy I talked to said it wasn't even doable, but he'd only really run one side of the circuit breakers, I guess, from what I understood. And you guys know more about this, I think, than I do, but so I went with the 50 watt. So I could run two, like my oven and stuff that runs off 240, and which I do rely on for heat. I know you're not supposed to, but compared to the the Wave 3 or some of these Mr. Buddies and crack a window and all this and that, carbon monoxide, I've had pretty good luck as far as and I hope it holds for this, running a little bit off the oven, running my 1500 watt 1500 watt heater, and then I just have the kitchen and living room during the day, and then at night just run the 1500 watt heater in the bedroom, and sometimes I'll run another 1500 watt out in the living room if it gets real cold. The dog goes out there and whatever, sleeps on the couch, but so that's how I want to do it. That's how I've been doing it for the past 20 years with no issues. So what I wanted to do with this generator, and I've kind of chosen, or at least so far I've made a final decision, is this 8500 watt Champion generator. It's a loud version, probably 74 decibels, because the inverters are about twice as much, but the Champion, from what I've been able to see, has pretty good, either a lot of stores or just Home Depot's the big one, but serviceability, let's call it, where you can call in, and so I think you still have to take it somewhere. I've got a small generator shop 10 miles from me where I can take it, but this generator, it's 8500, is what is it, 135 pounds. It does have dual dual fuel electric start. I don't think it has a remote, but still at 135 pounds I'd probably have to get a ramp, or maybe I could get it on my trailer somehow if I tilted it up, and if I had to take it to the shop. But I'd probably end up at my age just having somebody come out and pay the extra cost to do the remote service. But as much as I'm going to hopefully not use this, I think, for the rest of my life anyway, I think the generator will hold up, especially if it's a Champion, or, a lot of people say most of these generators are built by the same company, same manufacturers. I don't know if that's true or not, but they all seem to run about, either have, their well-known brands, but they all seem to have the same, whether they're gonna, I can't think of the word, they're all gonna run about the same. So, and that's arguable. So, the thing on the generator is that, again, that it is heavy, and it would be, I said I would get remote service, but there is in Texas, April 25th to 27th, I could get, skip the sales tax, 8.25 sales tax. And if I did buy it at Home Depot as a service member, I could get 10% off. So I want to see if I can get 18% off, or if it's just one or the other. Either the military, maybe they'll probably just give me the military, or the other Texas tax holiday. I'll have to check in on that. I wanted to buy, and the guy recommended that I get a, he had two 40-pound propane tanks, and I looked it up and knew they wanted like $165, and I think I would probably gamble that I'd probably get two 30-pounders, because I could probably lift it easier, and that I'd be back on the grid for, say, hopefully before the tanks run out. I'd probably have two 30s and maybe a 20, something along that line. It says they hold twice the fuel of a regular barbecue tanks, 10 to 12 hours of runtime. So see about that if that happens. Again, that interlock switch is what you use so that you don't hurt, nobody gets hurt. If they're working on a power line, you either have one or the other hooked up, either your power in your home works, or the power in your generator works. When you have that switch on there, you have to turn one off, to operate the other. So, and he also recommended, he also recommended a 6-gauge wire instead of a 10. It stays cooler, prevents voltage drops, can fry your fridge and motor. And before I forget, what I wanted to concentrate on with this generator is during the day, maybe I said it, I want to use the oven a little bit just to warm, and the 1500 watt generator, my fridge, my computer, the router, the modem, and my 50-inch TV. And I think that's pretty much it during the day. And then at night, I'd run probably maybe one of the heaters in the living room, one in the bedroom, and then my electric blanket. So that's kind of my setup. Yours is probably different than mine, but the guy told me, he said at least have a 8,000 watt generator in if you're gonna get one. So it's kind of the sweet spot with that. The 8,500 watt, you're running my essentials plus items like the microwave, or and probably the oven without tripping the speakers. And I would run it on propane, as you know, because that way you're not gumming up the carburetor with gasoline. But if it did, I would probably keep a 5-gallon can of gasoline. So if I did run out of propane, at the last resort, I would, and the grid was still off, I'd still use the gasoline. And since I go to Michigan in the summer, I would disconnect that battery for the electric start. Well, it'd be better, of course, if you had a tender, you know, for sure. But since they're only, I think, anywhere from probably $50–$60 to replace the battery, they'll usually last a couple years, and then I have to get another one. So with that being said, that's pretty much it for this video. If you got anything out of it, consider contributing to my coffee beverage fund. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell, and we'll see you down the road. Take care, everybody.